This is Sarah Wang with China on TV Entrepreneur Edition. Shanghai is an immersive city, and many things in Shanghai have Western features. Let's take architecture, for example. The architecture complex by Bond is a famous attraction to many tourists. Nowadays, many design studios focused on architecture have already been based here in Shanghai. Today, I will show you around a special design studio. Let's have a look first. Your company is a design institute. Why you choose to set up your studio here in China, Shanghai? And we know you're a designer, right? I think a designer should first be a good observer. Can you tell me what inspiration you can get from the city Shanghai?
I was born in Malaysia, and I grew up in England. So all this while, I always wanted to come back to Asia. I wasn't really sure where to go, so about 4 years ago I visited China, and I went to Beijing, I went to Shanghai, and I especially really liked the energy of Shanghai, so I was like, okay, I'm coming here. So I packed my stuff and I moved here that was about almost 4 years ago. As an architect, as a designer, I think it's a great place for me to build and to learn and to meet new people. I think it's a really great place to be.
What are your core business?
Mainly we do interior designs and architecture. Interior design is our strength right now because we've been doing it the length of the period. We're slowly moving up into architecture, and we hope to grow in that field.
Now your company have more than 20 people, and I know that at the beginning of your company you have only 3 founders. Can you tell us how you reached that point?
Yeah, we started about a little bit more than 1.5 years ago. It was 3 people in a little space which was about 10 square meters. It comes with understanding how China works. I think China works differently from any country in the world. A lot of people who come into China, they think China is like a place where money just grows on the trees and then you just pick it up. I think if you come with that attitude, it's going to be really tough to survive here, because China, as I said, works in its own way. There's a different kind of dynamic to it, and you need to understand it before.
I've heard that you cooperate with many multinational companies, such as L'Oreal, Diesel, Sephora. And can you tell us about the story and tell us why these big companies cooperate with you?
We've worked with a lot of multinationals. We work with, like you said, Sephora, Diesel, BBC, Sony we kind of work with, and a lot of other brands. I think the biggest challenge for all these multinationals as they're coming to China is that it's very hard to find good talent here in all fields. It's not only in design. I think we have good attitude, we have good work ethics, we have good ideas, and I think that attracts them.
How do you see your company in the next few years?
You know, it's hard when you start from a baby company to a mid-sized company. You have to reorganize how things work. Obviously, I would love for our company to get bigger, but at the same time, the hardest challenge is to be able to maintain the quality of work, which I think I'm even more interested in and more passionate about. Another big challenge is to find good talent, to find good people, in our case good designers, who can work with us, who shares our same ideas, our same style. I think that's a big challenge for us.
Do you think language is a barrier?
I'm lucky that I can speak both languages. I grew up speaking English and Mandarin to my parents. I went to Chinese school till I was 12, so I'm lucky enough to be able to speak and write and understand the Chinese culture. So for me, there's no real barrier. If you want to learn in China, I think you really have to be able to master the language, because a lot of times it proves difficult. I mean, for us, dealing with the clients, our clients normally speak English to some degree, so that's easier. But the hardest thing is when we are on the construction site, when we're working with construction workers, there's no way that they would be able to speak English, so we need to deal with them in Chinese, and if we cannot deal with that, then it is a problem.
So you're from Malaysia and you graduate from AA in London, right? And now you came to China. So I'm wondering, how can you adapt yourself to the new environment?
It's quite easy for me. I think I'm one of the people of this generation that has traveled a lot. I mean, I grew up in Malaysia. I left the country in my teenage years. I moved to England. I was all alone. I had to take care of myself. And then coming to China 4 years ago, I think it wasn't very difficult for me. I think, especially Shanghai now, in terms of lifestyle, I get to get everything that I can get in England or in Malaysia. I get to get the chocolates I can get from England. I can get the curry paste I want from Malaysia. So in terms of life, it's very comfortable. It's quite easy to adapt in Shanghai. I think some other cities in China may be a little bit more of a shock for foreigners when they come in. If you were like smaller cities, for example, I think it would be more difficult. But Shanghai, Beijing, I think it's quite easy to settle down.